Hey everybody, welcome to A Kiss for Luck. I'm Steve.
I'm Charisse.
And in our third corner, our third side of the triangle, third leg of the stool, Mike Crutchfield from Northern California. Hi, Mike.
Hi, how's everybody doing? Good to be back.
Yeah,
Good.
we're doing fantastic, doing fantastic. And our guest rejoining us at A Kiss for Luck from FanDuel television expert handicapper, Caleb Keller. Hey, Caleb, how are you?
Glad to be on with y'all. It's been a while since we got to hang out pretty much every weekend at Los
Yes.
Alamitos, getting ready for the races. And Mike, always great to see you. I've been following your winning tickets there on the Twitterverse, but happy
Yeah.
to be here and got a good weekend.
Yes, sir.
We do indeed. We do indeed. First, I want to start off to rest in peace, Robbie Alvarado. Heck of a jockey, third in wins at Churchill Downs all time, and rode some amazing horses. He probably would have won a Kentucky Derby aboard Animal Kingdom if he hadn't busted himself up a few days before the
Yeah.
race. And Velasquez took care of that for Robbie. And he was the exercise writer on Mystic Dan when Mystic Dan won the Kentucky Derby.
Mhm.
So he got his Kentucky Derby vicariously through Mystic Dan and Kenny
Yeah.
McPeek, and he will certainly be missed. He's a heck of a rider.
Yes, sir.
Here's to Robbie.
Yeah, there you
Yes.
go. You got your
I got to
wine
say with
glass.
Robbie, real quick, guys,
Yep.
I had a chance to play in the Tuesday golf game where at Churchill Downs, the jockeys and the gate crew have played like a long-standing Tuesday game where they keep like these PJ Tour standings on pencil and paper and have their handicaps. And I got a chance to play with Robbie out there quite a few times over the years. And, like you said about Robbie having these great mounts, he had Mineshaft, who was the
Yep.
grade one classic
That's
horse in
right.
2003, should have won, should have been in the classic, had something come up. Of course, he had Curlin. Uh,
Yeah.
Robbie was the rider of Not This Time in
Yeah.
his very
Wow.
short career, which is like a comet going through the sky. And I think that it was amazing that Robbie got like one final swan song grade one in the crazy COVID year. Kenny McPeek wants to take Swiss Skydiver to the Preakness, but they had two problems. Gaff Leone had a tough time getting out of Louisville because of a quarantine. So then they asked Mike Smith, who had a tough time getting out of California on a quarantine. Somebody joked with Kenny McPeek, said, Kenny, you're going to ride this horse yourself. And he went back to the loyal guy that was Robbie Alvarado. And,
Yeah.
Alvarado was somewhat in soft retirement at that point. I want y'all to go back tonight and watch that 2020 Preakness. So when he's
Okay.
on the lead with Swiss Skydiver, Authentic comes up on his outside, and I talked with Robbie about this race. He said, "You know what? This was his bit of greatness and wisdom in this race." He said, "I knew my filly was plateauing at 100%, and I did not need to get after her with the whip." And Authentic was running somewhat of a gentleman's race and seeding from the top of the stretch. So if you watch, where he kind of had the whip out, but he never once hit the horse to get her off stride or to get her discouraged, and he knew he could take that whole lane and win the race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what a, and they always say it's in the hands, and
Mm.
my gosh, he had some amazing hands,
Yeah.
he felt the horse underneath him. So that's
Hmm.
definitely a loss
Yeah.
for racing. So rest in peace, Robbie. Um,
Yes.
and seeing as we mentioned a couple of Triple Crown races here and there, so maybe some changes to the Triple Crown. I want to get your opinion on this, Caleb, on what they're doing here, because the first public information came out where that Belmont, they were talking about Churchill and Belmont, and they're not sure about the Preakness. And now Preakness came out, and they're getting their way back in here. What do you make of this, and what do you think we're going to do this year?
Well, what I'm seeing is a huge reinvesting into the game by different new entities. Now, before we talk about this Thoroughbred Championship Series, what's amazing about the future and the money going to this game is that they also announced something similar recently, which didn't get as much fanfare, the HRL, the Horse Racing League.
Sure.
Now, this is the guy who revolutionized F1. F1 10 years ago was something that rich people could go to, Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, they won't be bothered, ultra exclusive. Well, that's what people think horse racing is. And this guy came into F1 who's going to start this HRL, and he got them onto the digital platform. He got them up to speed. He got them to the younger audience. He got them to have teams. He got them to have trading cards. Like, so this same guy that revolutionized F1, it was announced just a couple months ago, starting the HRL, basically beginning later on this year. And now here comes the Thoroughbred Championship Series, $5 million. The most exciting part is this new race in September, which nobody even knows what distance, what the name's going to be. You've got like a new Kentucky Derby in September to end this championship series. Yes, it feels disappointing at this point that the Preakness was left out and the Triple Crown, as we've known it for 150 years, seems different. That to me is a little tough to accept growing up in the heartland of Kentucky and wanting the Derby winner to go to the Preakness and have the traditional construct of the Triple Crown. But since that's not working, let's get excited that there's a lot of money that's being invested and reinvested, and in some cases by new outer entities with different ideas.
Sure,
Mhm.
I agree.
Yeah.
And if you see what they're doing at Belmont and Pimlico, my Lord. I mean, and that is really, when you think about that, the millions of dollars that is being invested in Pimlico with no real clear path of saying, okay, we are going to be the second leg of the Triple Crown. But I mean, the things that if you can find them online and anybody out there can do it, but the walkthrough and the videos of all the different things that they're doing at those two tracks to bring them up. Oh my gosh. And then of course Churchill, they just did a multi-gajillion dollar addition over the last several years, but absolutely incredible the way money is coming in. And I agree with that. That is a good thing. More money coming in is always good, and it is funny. I remember hearing about that horse race league, and I haven't heard anything about it. And so if that's coming back, and this guy is that serious about it and getting it rolling, then why not? I mean, they've got professional pickleball teams,
Yeah.
that people have invested in. A lot of the celebrities have invested in. Tom Brady owns one of those. A lot of the celebrities do. And so you have to realize that there's it to be relevant, you have to invest. And I think that's what you have to do. You have to put it out there. I think Todd Schrupp mentioned it very well with FanDuel TV. He said it's like a billionaire that has a Jaguar in the garage, and he drives it on Sundays occasionally, and then at some point he's like, I don't really care about the luxury anymore. I've still got all my gambling interests in FanDuel. Do I really need the luxury of doing all these great productions and all the amazing things that FanDuel TV has done over the years? Some absolutely beautiful production work, but does it bring in more money gambling? I don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I think when you reach a certain point where you have to, fish or cut bait, they cut bait, unfortunately. Because believe me, I don't think anybody on this panel here thinks that they should have got rid of FanDuel TV because we all loved it very much. And
Yeah.
and now everything is like RTN. You know, I mean, you've got,
Yeah.
you hear the acoustic version of the Pointer Sisters in between races. I mean, it's like, really? Is that what
Yeah.
we want? That's not what I
Yeah.
want. I'd much
No.
rather hear, ice cold exactly or something, I
Yeah.
mean, give me some personality, give me,
Mhm.
and I want that because I am a child of the 60s and 70s. I like DJs. I like to hear those guys. I liked to growing up in Southern California listening to the real Don Steele, I mean, a 93 KHJ. I mean, that's what I wanted to be when I was a kid. I wanted to be a DJ. I went to college for that. I was on the college radio station for that. That is my interest. So when they said FanDuel was done, nobody took it harder than me. Believe me.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you, Caleb, but a lot of other people that work for FanDuel
Yeah.
probably took it harder. But every time there's a door that shuts, there's a window that opens, right?
Yep.
I agree. I agree. A lot of good talent there, and like I said, I mentioned Caleb and Joe Talamo, who
Yeah,
he's been on that network for about 6 or 8 months or whatever it is. I
sure.
don't know, but just a lot of good young talent. And when I
Mhm.
look at it from like an executive view, I'm like, man, that talent has to land somewhere. It
Mhm.
talent will always land somewhere. And most times, it'll be better than you could imagine it ever being. So that's
Sure.
what I'm hoping that happens with
Yeah.
Caleb and those guys like that.
Now,
Mhm.
listen, it's I think that Dave Weaver said it best on one of the podcasts. To there's two cut dates here for FanDuel, so to make it to the last one, you have a little bit of like a survivor's guilt where you're just happy to to head to work for a couple 3 more months. But yeah, everybody that was affected, incredibly difficult, to say the absolute least, when you're working with like your friends and what feels like basically your family. When I came out to California, to be honest with you, I didn't necessarily need to go out to meet a bunch of new friends because like the friends that I have are the ones I work with, and I know that's super lucky. And since the beginning, I've known that this was a blessed journey to get to this point. So the people at FanDuel, like as tough as it is, like I'm confident in time that they'll find their way. In terms of like horse racing on the broader, this has a big time trickle down effect to smaller tracks and people that work at the track. But all that aside, I do want to say that it does seem like this is a realignment of power because FanDuel did put a lot of money and stake into horse racing more than probably before for a good
Yep.
long time. So, yeah, the 24/7 network that we've come accustomed to is going away. But I do think in time, we just had this discussion. There are new entities coming into the game. There are established entities that have already done great work. And it will be a time of transition. And yes, we might not hear Ice Cold with Mike Joyce and the same stories that we've loved for a really long time. But I do still think that we are projecting forward in the game. What we're seeing is what we saw with the iPhone. What we have with the iPhone now, we got a notepad, we got a calendar, we got a pager, we got a phone, we got a GPS, we got it. It was all consolidating, is what we
Yep.
heard in school for media. Well, we are seeing a big time consolidation in horse racing, and I hope that California can do the best with what we already have, which is a beautiful Santa Anita and Del Mar. You've got great tracks, including Los Alamitos, but overall, the strength is really consolidating, namely in Kentucky, obviously, and looks like New York. So I do think that long term, this game is going to reshape itself, and we're going to have more people to make great memories for us in the future on TV.
Yeah.
Where I hope so. I'm
Yes.
going with that. I like that idea.
Well
Me
said,
too.
Caleb.
Hey,
Yeah.
way to go, Caleb. Woo.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, you know what I like even more than that? I like winning picks is what I like.
Yeah.
So nobody gives us more winning picks than Mike Crutchfield. So,
Oh well.
um,
I
so
yeah. I don't.
are you focusing on New York, Mike?
Yeah. I'd like to focus on New York and again, New York is not as it's tough, but not as tough as you think it would be if you just really pay attention to what's going on. I mean, if you're watching Ortiz, I mean, first thing you should do is what are they on?
Yeah.
What are those three? What are three jockeys riding? And most times, if you use those three, and have one of the other ones, I mean, you can cash a lot of tickets at. But we don't do that. A lot of people try to beat them, and they're winning 60-70% of the races. Three jockeys.
Yeah, so a friend of mine went down to Del Mar last weekend and they were betting Saratoga races and his wife said, "Who do I bet at Saratoga?" It's like one of the Ortiz brothers, put one
And
of the
Pratt.
Ortiz brothers in there.
Yeah,
And
and
so
Pratt. Yeah,
And
Ortiz
Pratt.
wins. Then the next race, who do I bet? There's one Ortiz and then that's it. I said, "Okay, then bet Ortiz and Pratt." She wins again. He did that for four straight races where it was
yeah,
one of the Ortiz brothers or Pratt. And so, she was a very happy woman, my wife. I was giving her winners. It's like,
yeah,
yeah, no
yeah,
handicapping needed, right? Love it.
yeah. Yeah, they're just amazing. Those two are just amazing jockeys.
Yeah.
And if you just watch the last race at Saratoga today and see what Ortiz did and how he rode that horse, he rode that horse like he was driving one of Caleb's Ferraris or something. He was he was going in and out and just
The blue one or the
you
red one?
probably the Bay Ferrari that you have, but
The
you
Bay.
know they're just amazing tacticians and they don't make and you know the difference between those three, they don't make many mistakes out
No,
there.
no.
You know,
Yeah,
they just don't.
there's a lot of ways to lose a race, and they normally don't do those things. If you don't have the horse, you don't have the horse. But it's pretty rare when you see them not doing the correct thing. So,
Yeah. But
all right,
anyway,
sir.
you want some winners, and I want to give out the
Yeah.
mandatory pick five at Saratoga for Friday, and it's a $96 ticket. And
Yeah.
I think I have some good opinions,
Okay.
and so we'll start in the third race, and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna use four horses here, and I'm gonna use the number 10, which is maximum heat. The horse got rolling late, and the last, I guess, the last eighth of a mile, this horse closed. I like these horses that the last eighth of a mile, you see them run and close 2 or 3 lengths. So I'm going to use that horse. The issue is he is on the outside again. So hopefully he'll break better and be more on the pace. So I'm going to use the 10, and I'm going to use the 6, which is gonna sit mid pack, I think, and get a good tracking trip. And I'm gonna use the 8, Coach Ryan. But my top preference and the only speed I see in the race is a horse that is trying turf for the first time with some sneaky turf breeding, and that's a number 3. Is there a normal wife? Is the horse, and I don't know. Whenever Caleb I give these type names, Charisse just dies laughing. But um,
No
I
comment.
Right
yeah,
here. I'm normal.
yeah. So I know you are, and again, I know you are, and Steve is very lucky to have you. Um, so anyway, I'm going to use the number 3 as my top preference at 10-1. I think this horse is going to be on the lead, and if this horse likes the turf, he's going to take this field a long, long way.
Okay.
Okay, so Mike, here's your $10 box. Is there a normal wife to emotionally available?
Yes, yes, and those are two key words. Caleb, we won't get you in trouble because you're a newlywed still, so you don't
That's
have
Appreciate
to
that.
right.
Yeah.
comment on anything that we're talking about on this subject.
Mm,
But
no,
so I'm
no,
going to start
no.
off using 4, and I don't think the 3 is going to be 10-1. I think the 3 is going to end up being 5 or 6-1. In this
Okay.
field. Johnny V does a masterful job with putting horses into the race, so this one will be on the lead.
All righty. And then again, this is Friday, mid pick five, mandatory payout, races three
Yeah,
through
which
seven. So
yes, which
first
starts in the
leg,
third.
3, 6, 8, 10.
Yes. And so that's the first leg, and the second leg I think is pretty simple. I think you use the 2 and the 5. You know, the 2 lawn four is actually is 2 for 3 over the surface. So I really really like that, and so that's going to be my top preference. And also, at Saratoga, it's important to use horses that enjoy running over that surface. And if you can find them, they will reward you. And the 5 has had 4 starts over that surface, and he's been in the money 3 times. So those 2 horses are what I'm going to use. If you have a bigger budget, throw the 6 in, which is Kenny B, who has also been over the surface 3 times and has run second twice. But my top 2 picks are going to be the 2 and the 5.
All righty, 2, 5. And next race, sir.
Yeah, the 5th race, you know, um, my good buddy Richie Mig, he always reminds us that these horses only have so many A races in them, and if you're a good handicapper, you want to try to, see when they're not going to run the A race, and there's an even money favorite, the 5, easy, um,
Oh, the
easy
4.
roll, the 4, I'm sorry, easy
Yep.
roll.
Yep.
And this horse is even money. And I just, but he's 0 for 2 over Saratoga.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's important to look at. And I think this horse is a vulnerable favorite tomorrow, so I'm not going to use him. I'm gonna throw them all the way out, and I'm gonna use horses. I'm gonna use the number two, Faithful Lightning. I'm gonna use that horse. I just like um, the way this. I think he's well meant. The jockey trainer combo is about 31%. So I'm going to use that one. I'm going to use the eight Left Behind, who has run fresh well. The issue with this horse is the trainer is 1 for 27, 4%. But again, I believe this particular trainer can win races in bunches. So I'm hoping that
Yeah.
this is going to be the day, and
Hmm.
I'm going to use the three Google joke. I'm going to use
Hmm.
him 33%. Trainer jockey combo will be forward, but my top pick is going to be the number one. My top preference is Papa Yo. And I believe this horse is training well enough to get the job done at 401 the better or better. Manny Franco is as hot as a pistol.
Mhm.
He's just riding so well right now. And so those are the four I want to use. Throwing out the even money favorite, I'm not going to use them on my ticket.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 8 with Papa Yo being your top selection. Race number 6.
Yeah, and again, I'm going to have a single at the end. So if you're wondering how I'm going to turn this into a $96 ticket, I have a single at the end
Yeah,
here.
I was
And
wondering.
yeah, so when I have a single at the end, I can go a little deeper, and that's how I really like to play my tickets. So, so what I'm going to do is in the sixth race, I'm going to use four horses. I think the best of the bunch on the first time starters, you always have to ask yourself, like I said, where are they ending up? Where's Ortiz? Where is he ending up? It's the first question you have to ask yourself, and he ends up on the number two. Um, Irad ends up on the number two for Morley Thomas. I think that's significant. They are
Hmm.
25% together.
Yeah.
Okay, so he must think that that horse is live. So I'm going to use that one. I'm going to use a horse that, again, these are New York breds, but I'm going to use a horse that closed significant ground the last eighth of a mile, and that's the number seven. One of my favorite jockeys is Junior Alvarado. I'm going to use the seven. Um, and then I'm going to use the 10, City of Rome. Going to use that one. And again, Saez is not he's not having a great meet, but I think that they mean business. This trainer when he goes to Saez, so I'm going to use that one. But my one of my best bets of the day is um, is the number one, and I'm going to make that my top preference. This horse ran terrible on the turf, but has worked really well on the dirt. And he
Hmm.
has that work that I always tell you about, Steve and Charisse.
48.
He,
48.
you have to pay attention to that. This horse is going to have speed from the rail, okay? And
Yeah.
look who's riding him.
Yeah.
So you ask
Yep.
yourself why? Why
Yep. Yeah.
does he end up on this colt?
Yeah.
So so anyway, that's going to be one of the best bets of the day. I'm really going to play this horse heavy, and I think that this is a really live ticket tomorrow. So anyway, that's the sixth race. And for my single in the seventh race, you know, I really think, and this is something I don't do, I never play turf horses coming from the west to the east. I never do it. They just don't win. They just can't beat the east turf horses. They just can't most times. But I believe
But
that I'm going to use a but here. I think the four with Irad on there is the best horse in the race, and I'm going to trust Irad to get this single home for me. So I'm gonna use the four and it's a $96 ticket. And again, I think these are some good opinions. Add or take away whatever you don't like, but I think we can get this one home.
Wow.
My goodness. All right.
It,
$96 ticket. And that's a bold single there, young man.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. But I just don't think, looking at the race, I just don't see anything that, and on the Ragusan sheets, I, I, I think the four is coming into this better than any of them, and I'm gonna rest there.
All
you know
right.
what's interesting to me? Look at the trainer,
Yeah.
Robertino Diodoro. How many horses does he start in New York?
Not
Uh,
many.
Right? And
yeah.
look
One's
who
what I've
he
got.
gets to ride,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And
I like it, Mike.
there must have been a really good story that he told Irad.
Yeah.
I would have loved to hear that story.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but anyway, that's my ticket, manageable ticket. A lot of good opportunity throughout that sequence to make some money, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent. So that was the mid pick five races 3 through 7, Saratoga Friday. And that will
Yes.
be listed in our notes here after we finish posting this baby up. Caleb, what do we got, sir? What do we got? Where are we going?
All right, let's go to Saturday, Saratoga. I got 3 races from Saratoga on Saturday, and I got 3 races from Del Mar on Saturday.
Okay.
So we're gonna go to the big card. But how about race 10 at Saratoga? You got the 4-star Dave, and I'm really liking the number 1 here, Rhetorical. This is a horse that last fall at Keeneland, not this time, the Stallion won every single turf stakes that he was in for the whole meet, 7 for 7, and they were in second. And one race they were in second, third, and fourth. And of all those horses, Rhetorical was the top dog.
Hmm.
And when I look at this year, he needed first of all, there's no speed in the Maker's Mile. He needed the race. He got a little fractious. He ran a sneaky giant third. Churchill Downs, the 107 was incredible. I know he got an easy lead. But then the Manhattan, he made the lead, kind of didn't want to. A little bit extra long that race. That was a mile 3/16. But now, with all the speed in the race, they're going to tuck back. I read right there on the inside. Rhetorical, I think, really gets back on the beam with a huge race in the 4-star Dave. Saratoga Derby, the next race line, the grade 1. I'm going to go for a long shot there. The Big Con for Miguel Clement. If you look at the family of the 7, every horse in the family is a stone runner. And Dark Angel, the sire,
Yeah.
not quite like Galileo or Dubowie, but Dark Angel gave you Raging Bull, who was an excellent miler. They're bringing the 7 off that year layoff into
Yeah.
this race.
Yeah.
Gaff Leone and the horse won easy. And I don't think that the Euros in here, they're fine. Title roll, solid. Pacific Avenue. Remember, this group of horses looks solid, but not overly scary. So I'm going to give the Big Con a chance to come in off the layoff with a big race. And then the Whitney, race 12. What a headliner here in this race.
Yeah.
Kind of like Mike said, how he doesn't like sometimes the California horses going to New York, but he's going to make an exception. I'm going to make an exception as well because I usually don't play a closer from an outside post, but I think the Baeza is sitting on the giant race here. I mean,
Mm.
to no secret, didn't get out of the gates. Baeza does remind me a little bit or a lot of bit of Mage. Mage was a super talent, but he had bad reflexes at the gate. And
Yeah.
Mage pretty much got left in the Derby and still won it. So Baeza, I think he can get at least a better start than the last 2. Ran absolutely gigantic. And Pratt, to me, is ready to get on the board. Like
Yeah.
Jose Ortiz and Irad's having all the fun. And Pratt really needs to reassert himself. I think Baeza can do that. And then one price horse I'm going to give another look when you're handicapping to White Barrio because
Yeah.
he just
Yeah.
ran 2 back the race of his life. And 2 things that White Barrio's never liked is a sloppy track. I know there's a tiny chance for rain, but he's never liked the slop and he's never liked a loose leader.
Yep.
When White Barrio was up against Raging Torrent, who was loose, didn't run that well, was up against Mufasa, loose, National Treasure, loose, Magnitude. So if there can be any pace pressure, White Barrio, I think, could have a big chance there to rebound in the Whitney. So that's my Saratoga. Should I go to the Del
Hey,
Mar or should we
Caleb,
pass it off to somebody else?
Caleb,
Okay.
before you go to Del Mar, I want to comment on your Saratoga Derby pick. I have that horse circled 3 times. I have Gaffleon highlighted. because if you look at the number 10 horse, Gaffleone has ridden that horse 1, 2, 3, the last 4
Wow.
starts, won with him
Wow.
3 times. He obviously opted for the big con.
But I've
Sure.
seen this too. There was Jeff Mullins had a horse at a maiden race. I know it was only a maiden race, but the horse had raced at 2, laid up like 8 months, 9 months to 3. Well, the 2-year-old buyer wasn't that good, but
Yeah.
the horse obviously took a step forward. So the 60 and 72 was fine. And this field in general is only in like 80 buyer land. So the 7 could be ready, especially the fact they entered into this race with this jockey could really
Yep.
have a move forward. And if y'all got the formulator, take a look at the family for the big con. They're all really nice turf runners.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Nice.
Excellent. All right. You're going to back west, Del Mar Saturday.
All right, so 3 horses at Del Mar, and I've been keening on the turf at Del Mar. I really like the turf racing here, so that's
Yeah.
where I'm going to stick with the bread and butter. Race 4, I'm looking at the number 7 Regal Patriot. I know the horse ran last most recently, but the old Simon Bray angle, when you have a bad race that leads to a layoff, you can cross it out. And when you do that, the 7's best races are way better, I think, than this field. 9 for 20 lifetime. The horse is an absolute win tiger. Steve Knapp, I think, is needing to win. He's willing to drop in for an affordable 25. The one's
Yeah.
a nice horse, but the one's a 10-year-old. I would love to see the one, but one of your other main competitors is kind of a super vet. So I think Regal Patriot, the 7 in race 4 on Saturday at Del Mar, is ready to roll. 6th race at Del Mar, looking for a big long shot up here from the number 4, Go Ralph. You've got the Del Mar breeding through and through with Bo Hirsch. Ricky Gonzalez and Mike McCarthy pulled a big upset last year with a horse named Velocity on the turf, outran the odds. This horse is second off the layoff. Hard Spun has given us some Arlington Million winners and Breeders' Cup turfers, and
Sure.
then also the bottom side Candy Ride. So I thought that the 4 got a lot out of that race, and I think that the 4 Go Ralph in race 6 ready to take a huge move forward with a sweet inside trip. And then finally, 8th race, Del Mar Saturday, the featured grade 2 yellow ribbon, a horse I saw in person earlier this year. I really like the looks of Warming when I saw this horse on Jeff Ruby Day. Horse had no shot that day. Stylish Sue was lone speed of life, and the horse ran a decent third. Then the 6 got back to the turf and ran down a decent field in the Galleret with a big surge on the film. And then last time, good ground, solid third, wide, decent effort. Warming to me for Grand Motion, and Eclipse is ready for a big ship in the yellow ribbon.
Mhm.
Excellent. Excellent.
They're coming
Wow.
from out of town, huh? Any other horses from out of town in that race? I don't have the form
Well,
available.
Vicky Oliver is coming in with Princess Attitude. Sweet Rebecca from Mike Maker comes in from Lone Star. Vincy Girls in from Gulfstream. Take a breath with the local horse that's been here, and then Whiskey Decision, formerly with Chad Brown, now
Yep.
with McCarthy, comes in
Yep.
for new connections.
Mhm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So three
Exactly
three at
what we
each
talked
track
about, right,
on
Mike?
Saturday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. And I'm gonna use Caleb's horse, but depending on the size of the ticket, I'm you know, those horses coming in from these other jurisdictions, I'm gonna be looking at them very closely.
I think what we were talking about, it is interesting when you analyze where they're coming from and what they're doing, right? So they're not maidens. If you're a maiden, you stay back there because the purses are so great. But once
Hmm.
you've won a few races and you're kind of in that tweener, there you're not gonna go in some of these big races back in New York because you're gonna get your
No.
teeth kicked
Hmm.
in. So you're gonna try to come out here for 200 grand purse and say, yeah, I
Yeah.
could I could deal with that. That's all right.
Hmm. Yep.
So I like the thoughts, and there we are. All right, Charisse, you you did your hair, you got your glasses all ready. How about giving us some picks?
I don't know if you gentlemen have seen my post today. I just want to dedicate this show to a friend of
Yeah,
mine in
I
Arizona
saw
who
it.
passed away today,
Yeah,
Beth Trigg.
Yeah.
And my regret is not staying close with her when we left Arizona and came back 2+ years ago. And I got the call today from a friend that she had passed away. And, you know,
yeah,
rest in
no
peace, my
doubt,
friend.
no
Yeah.
doubt. And they
So,
were Her and her husband Larry, diehard Kansas City Chiefs fans. But
Mm.
so at least before Beth passed, you saw some great Mahomes magic. So
Mm.
God
Oh
bless her.
yeah,
Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah,
she's a great mahjong player too, Mike. We played
right.
so much
Forgot about
mahjong
that.
together.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Really, yeah,
Hey, I
really
just want to
tall,
tell you.
beautiful redhead, and
Hmm.
a lot of energy.
And
Yeah,
they had a
Irene.
fantastic karaoke machine set up at their house too. So that
Yeah,
was
oh
good
Yeah,
for
yeah.
parties
for
as well.
that. Yeah, I
It
just
was
want to
really
tell
very
you.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to tell you, Charisse, Irene plays mahjong too, so I'll have to
Oh,
hook you guys up, okay? But just don't
oh, and
take
if
all
she
of.
doesn't know how to play Siamese, which is two-handed, I will teach her.
Okay, there you go. There
Is
you
she
go. So you
coming
heard
with
it,
you?
Irene.
Is she
Yes,
coming with you in 2 weeks?
possible, possibly.
Okay, good,
Well, you know
Yeah.
good.
what? This just in, Tom Brady bought a mahjong team. No, I'm just kidding.
So yeah, there you go. Yeah.
All right. All right, Charisse, professional mahjong player. Go ahead. What do you got for
All
us,
right.
dear?
All right, gentlemen, start your engines. Here we go. I'm going to go to Saturday's mandatory mid pick 5 payout, starting in race 7 at Saratoga, which is going to, what's my favorite word? Morph into a mid pick 4. Guess how much my ticket is, Mike?
If I had to guess, I'd say $9.
Exactly. Nine
Oh,
for the pick 5 and 9 for the pick 4 because I'm singling in the first leg of the pick 5.
There you go.
Okay, here we go.
all right.
Again, Saturday, 7th race, Saratoga. I'm starting with my single is number 5, Iron Sight. Need I say more than Flavian Pratt and Chad Brown? 26%. I'm just going to single, close my eyes and hope. I'm going to go to the 8th race. I'm going to start the pick 4, continue with the pick 5. I'm using Mr. Pratt again on the turf. Or Chad Brown, first time starter. Tomlinson turf figures 367 by Kingman out of a Galileo mare. 4-1 if we get that. Decent works. Number 7, Revenue Storm, and I'm going to double up with the 11 with Jose Ortiz at an 8-1 morning line. Bold leadership for Todd Pletcher and Mike Rapoli.
Hmm.
Right?
Hmm.
Rapoli had 4 winners. Was it last Saturday or
Yeah.
Sunday
Yeah.
at Saratoga?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, 9th race. My single, Mr. Baffert, Mr. Pratt, Explora. We're not going to get 5-2. Number 7, Explora is a single. Number 10, I'm sorry, race 10. The 4-star Dave, grade 1. Number 3, Zulu Kingdom, Mr. Pratt again, Chad Brown. I love deterministic with our boy, Mike Kendrick
Yeah.
Carmouche.
Yeah. He's having a tough meet this, at
He is,
Saratoga.
he is, but
Hmm.
he will redeem himself.
Yes.
And I am going to use one of my favorite East Coast horses, Laganos. Number
Ah.
7, Jose Ortiz.
Mhm.
5-1, I laugh at that. If it's 5-1, bet it all day to win in place, but I don't know that we'll get 5-1. The 11th race. Here we go, Caleb. I have number 7, the Big Con, as my top pick. Circled it 3 times. And now I have a CK next to it for Caleb. I'm also going to use the 3. Remember Mamba, Cherie DeVoe, Jose Ortiz. And I'm going to use the 10, West End Kid. Jockey changed to Mr. Pratt, but I believe Mr. Gaffleone went to the 7 Big Con at 15-1. And then in the final leg, the Whitney, I am using, whoops, sorry about that. Am I singling again?
Yeah,
Or is
probably
that the end
so.
of my pick 5? 7,
Yeah,
8, 9, 10, 11. It is. I'm
you're
sorry.
singling.
No, I'm done.
Oh, 1, 2, 3,
But she
4,
had the
5.
single to start.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
It's
that's
did.
10
right.
and
You had the single
11.
That's
to
why it's
start.
$9,
Okay.
Caleb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
9 times. Okay, yeah. Well, that's great. $9 pick 5, Mike. How many times are you gonna play that one?
I will play that one at least 3 times.
Okay. All right. There
Okay.
you go.
I'll invest I'll invest $27 in that.
There you
Okay,
go.
that's fair. That is fair. And
There
we
you go.
just had so much fun talking here. I just figured I'd throw one in myself. I like the late double, $5 increment. And on Friday, we're doing Del Mar. It starts with the graduation. It's the seventh and the eighth races here. So what I plan to do is I'm going to play this three times. So we're going to make it a $15 double. I'm going the two net par and the four early encore. I don't trust early encore. This horse in May just ran away from a pretty weak field, I must say. Won by 7 lengths with Rosario on board, and it must have had a little setback, or they just said we're going to wait and go towards the stakes races at Del Mar. But it seems like there might have been something there. So who knows? He might have had a little niggling injury. Who knows? So the four is coming back, but I don't trust him. So I also put in the two net par with Antonio Garcia and JJ Hernandez, who also did the same sort of thing. Its last run ran off by 7 lengths in a field that also wasn't the best. So you just don't know who you're going to get with these two, but I think they kind of stand above the rest. Um, the next race, I absolutely love joint venture. I'm singling that in the final race there. The final race is an allowance 16, first 35, and you don't really need to look much further when you see Ron Ellis off a layoff. He always brings horses ready off a layoff, and you just cannot ignore that. This horse has been off since April, and you look at his stats: 61 to 180 days, 25% off the layoff. JJ Hernandez having a very good Del Mar meet, which is nice because he sagged a little bit at Santa Anita, but I think he's um, to steal a line back in the saddle again. And I'm not going to sing it the way Aerosmith would, but
Why not?
so yeah, I don't
Love
want
that.
to. That might be a little loud. So I'm going 2-4 with the one, and I'm going to play that three times. And that's pretty much what we got here, friends and neighbors. That's all I put together because I wanted to hear all the great stories. And speaking of great stories, so when is your official end date with FanDuel there, Caleb? We talked a little bit about it.
Going to go till November 30th. So I guess if you were ever going to get laid off, it's about the dreamiest way to go out with the Del Mar Keeneland Breeders' Cup and
Yeah.
fall at Del Mar, and then November 30 will be the
Hmm.
last day.
Okay.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Anything any prospects that you know of right now that you can tell us?
Well, I'm open to all and still focusing on the last 3+ months, but I will tell you that if y'all have a TikTok, I want y'all to potentially think about following me at Keller Instincts. I've been somewhat working in silence on a different social media platform. I know horse racing goes through horse racing Twitter, but I've been working on TikTok where I go on these walks all the time where I would just put my headphones in. I got this All Trails app. And one day my wife had the idea. She said, when you go on these walks, you got all these horses going through your mind. You might as well just start, filming it for a TikTok. So I started doing basically one a day where I do just a kind of a topic or a certain horse, and it's been a lot of fun. I had, believe it or not, I had one TikTok video about potentially Flightline being one of the greatest stallions of all time, and that bad boy's got like 700,000 views somehow in the TikTok world. Which the same one went to YouTube and did get like it had very much struggled to get views, but for some reason on TikTok specifically, that if something starts to really catch and people start commenting, believe it or not, the rapper Megan the Stallion, her whole fan base apparently found this video, but they said that they had watched the whole thing, and some of them didn't know anything about horse racing. One of them said they got a ticket to next year's Kentucky Derby. They're talking about going down a
Wow.
rabbit hole of horse racing. 30% of my comments on that TikTok is from Meg the Stallion fans. So it's been some fun. Started on June 1st.
Fantastic.
And I'll tell you that I did reserve the website, kellerinstincts.com. So keep an eye on the future, but I'm working on potentially some ventures on my own front, and then hope to have a good offer coming eventually.
There.
There you
Awesome.
go.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It will definitely happen, Caleb. I'm gonna tell you. Just being in business, I'm gonna tell you. Like I said earlier, talent. You know, you got a lot of talent. You will land, and it will be better than what you ever dreamed of. Most. I'm
No,
telling you.
thank y'all. And look,
Yes.
the three people I'm on here with, the one reason I love talking with y'all is that you got horse racing purists on here. You guys really put your heart and soul and a lot of time into this game. I know you're very talented in other ventures, but if you guys have a topic to talk about, I know it's horse racing, so I was happy to do it with y'all tonight.
I
Thank you.
Oh, that's great.
appreciate it, Caleb.
So the most important question is, how's married life, Caleb?
Ah,
Going Going great. I know this is a kiss
Good.
for luck. So listen, I had never been out of the country before in my life, and when I met my wife in Brazil, I have now gone to Brazil at least once a year, and her family comes in. My Portuguese is decent. I know I've got that Google Translate app, but after 4 years of marriage, I'm starting to understand a little bit more. But it's going better than I could have ever imagined. And she goes to the race on occasion, and she's always curious when I'm talking about it. But she grew up with karate. Her dad and brother was like the sensei at the gym, top karate family. Her brother's like rock climbing the side of Mount Vesuvius with some 8 pack. It's like unreal, the people in her family. But
Wow.
Great.
it's been a lot of fun for the first 4 years, and looking to do great things in the future. And I've always loved y'all's chemistry. This is why, of course, you're my favorite couple. I always said at Los Alamitos, but hopefully we get a great run, and that everybody here looks well.
Caleb,
Yeah.
do you see my reposts on Facebook when we get something from like 13 years ago that you commented on when we had a winner that night and coming down the stretch? And I tag you in them when I get them and I repost them.
No, I always appreciate that. Great
So
followers. And
many
those
good
names,
memories with
Les
you.
Sonaka, we're talking Ed Bergard. Just I
Yes.
feel
Yeah.
I thank God for having that chance to go out and even
yeah.
for a few years be a part of that cast.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
A
was
lot
Hmm.
of fun.
great.
A lot of fun. Well, we will. I will be there Saturday night. My wife is got a concert with a girlfriend, but so that girlfriend's husband, I said, let's go to the track, and he said, I'm in. So it's a win-win for both of us, babe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all
Yeah.
good. I know you want to be at the track instead of that concert, but
No, because it's a Whitney Houston candlelight tribute.
Mm.
So it's a
okay.
Philharmonic Orchestra at the Richard Nixon Library. And my friend Linda and I found these tickets about 2 months ago. We're like, let's go. So we're going to go have an early dinner with Ashley and our granddaughter, Maddie, who I'm sure you've seen the
I've
pictures,
seen
Kate,
her on Facebook for
and the
sure.
videos. Yeah.
Awesome.
And yeah, we're going to go do that. And then we're going to head to the concert. And yeah, it'll be fun. So here, I don't know if you can, oh boy, I don't know.
Yeah,
Here's little
Oh,
Maddie
a little bit. Yeah, a
that
little
is fun.
reflection. I don't think so. Well,
in her
we
5 month
kind of see the
picture.
face, but it's okay. I think if, like I always tell everybody, if you want to know what the Wolves are doing, add my wife because I
Yeah.
don't post any of that stuff, but she posts it all. So
Yeah.
anyway, thank you for coming on, Caleb. We certainly appreciate it. And Mike,
Yes, Caleb.
thanks for doing what you do, my friend. We
You
appreciate everything.
I love it. And like Caleb said, you couldn't do it, for two better human beings. And that's why I enjoy doing it is because of what you and Charisse are, and because I want to have fun and I love the game but I want to be around good people when
Yeah,
when I'm doing this stuff. So
so do we.
anyway,
So do we.
yes.
So, Caleb, after 2 years of knowing this man from another radio show to ours, now joining the three of us on this, we're finally going to meet. We've never met Mike in
I
person.
know you told me that last time I was on with y'all. That's amazing.
Yeah,
It,
Yeah,
it, a couple of
yeah.
weeks at Delmar.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it happen. So
Friday the
Yes.
21st.
yeah,
Yep.
Yes.
yeah. August
Unite. I'll be
21st.
there.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
Okay,
deal.
good.
Yeah.
And speaking, you can
Looking
use
forward
that
to it.
hand to give our sign off. So we're going to sign off with a kiss for luck like we always do. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah. All right.
All right, have fun out there.